Okay, this is going to be an age-restricted video. The title of it is going to be Proofs of a Geocentric Model. I'm on YouTube, Pat Moynihan, Tim Moynihan, Timmy Moynihan. I'm also on Vimeo, Tim Moynihan, Timmy Moynihan. I'm on timbosplace.com is my website. I want to shoot this real fast. I'm going to use a pool table with billiard balls to illustrate what I'm talking about here. So, I want to show you a conjunction that occurs quite a bit, and you don't even need the conjunction to happen. This is called the smiley face conjunction. It's a conjunction of Venus, the moon, and Jupiter. Now at this scale, Jupiter would be off of the table way over there in that chair. I got a ball set up there to be, but that's kind of not germane to what we're talking about here. But the smiley face conjunction, you can look it up, is between the moon, Venus, and Jupiter. So why am I ranting on about this? So here's the sun, here's Mercury, here's Venus, here's the Earth, the moon. These approximate distances, the billiard balls are planets. They're too big for scale, but the space in between is at the correct ratio. At this level, the moon would only be 200 at the most farthest it's going to be on the outside of the Earth would be 240,000 miles. So there's the sun. Mercury's at 35.98 million miles. Venus is at 67.24 million miles. The Earth is at 92.96 million miles, and then the moon at 240. So under the standard heliocentric model, if it's dark, that means you're on the part of the Earth that's rotated away from the sun. Sun's over here, so the sunlight's coming here. So if it's dark, it's because, let's get the sun here. It's because it's away from the sun. So here's the night sky. Here's the night sky, so you can all agree on that, correct? Okay. Venus, Mercury, the sun. Mercury, 35.98 million miles away from the sun. Venus, 67.24. The Earth, 92.96, and then the moon, 240,000 miles at its furthest on the other side of the sun. So it's always dark on this side. That means it's away from the sun. There is no way you can get Venus over here in any way, shape, or form. It's it's 25 million miles closer to the sun than the Earth. You can rotate this thing now till doomsday, till eternity ends, and under the heliocentric model, there is no way that Venus can get to the side of the Earth where it's night. So every time you look up at the night sky and see Venus at night, you know it's called Tycho Brahe's revenge. And when that conjunction occurs between Venus, the moon, and then Jupiter, which is way over there, you know that the geocentric model of the Earth is correct. The geocentric model states that the sun rotates around the Earth doesn't rotate around the sun. Now, let's cover some of the experiments that prove that. One of them I redid in college in a physics class. It's called Airy's failure. So Airy's was trying to prove that the Earth rotates, and henceforth that it would be rotating around the sun and be a heliocentric proof, and it failed. That's why it's called Airy's failure. So what he did and what I did and what you can do, so he aimed his telescope at a star, and then if the Earth was rotating but the star was stationary, the parallax, the Doppler effect, would, if you filled it with water, would slow down the light waves coming in, and it would cause it to hit the side. Since water slows down the speed of light, it would cause the the light particles to hit the side of the telescope. It didn't. So that was a proof. There's other proofs. There's the Michelson-Morley experiment, the Sagnac effect, and the Sagnac experiment. There's several. The Sagnac effect can be done with mirrors on a square, spiraling circle. It's very advanced physics. I don't think I got the time to go into it now, but and also Albert Einstein admitted he said, my theory, meaning relativity, doesn't matter if the Earth rotates around the sun or the sun rotates around the Earth. So Tycho Brahe proposed, and under his mathematical genius, he said that the Earth was the center of the solar system and that everything rotated around it. So he was he was killed, and they found mercury on his mustache. He died in his early to mid 50s. The chief suspect was Kepler. Yes, that Kepler that they named the telescope after. So he hired Kepler as an assistant, and he was totally incompetent. He fired him. Well, Kepler begged to get him back. He said, please give me back my job. So he did. He ends up murdered. Kepler takes all his data and runs with the heliocentric model. But every time you look up at night, not during the day, you can see Venus during the day, don't have a problem with that. But if you see it at night, you know it's on the opposite side of the Earth, away from the sun, and there's no way it can happen. So you have no excuse not believing in the geocentric model, that the Earth is the center of the solar system. And why does this even matter? Well, they want to tell you that you are an insignificant piece of matter that came about by accident, when in fact, God designed this so that you could overcome. And if you buy into the Big Bang Theory, which Fred Hoyle came up with later on in life, said this is the stupidest thing ever, you can do it. But I'm telling you, every time you look up at night and see the planet Venus, which isn't every night, but when Venus is in the night sky, it's generally the second most luminous body up there. And if the moon isn't out, it's the most luminous. So every time you see the Venus at night, you know about Tycho Brahe's revenge. Please like, share, and subscribe. God bless.